Hi friends, in this topic session we are going to cover difference between find element and find elements. Also first we will know about find elements method, how we are going to use that. So in the past you have seen the use of find element. Like find element is basically a kind of a method which being used with driver instance, and in that method we are passing the parameter of by class and whatever the locator you want to use, like there are 8 locators and that has to be passed, and like on the basis of that it is going to identify the web element, and after that with the help of dot operator once the element is found, so with the help of dot operator, like other methods are present like send keys, clear, submit, click. So this kind of operations we have done in our the past sessions. Now in today's session we are going to more focus on find elements method. So why find elements methods are there? So suppose that when there is no fixed size known in advance for each and every, whenever in the interview they are going to ask how to handle dynamic elements. So must be like you should correlate whether the interviewer is asking about find element method or find elements method. Fine. So if there is list kind of things like a group, you can say drop down, or you can say web table, or you can say multiple elements finding. So in that case you will have to use find elements method. So I'm going to demonstrate like how to use find elements method. Fine. See, I have taken one example over here. You can see this is like my basic part has been already done. Like I have designed one class. This is my, yeah, I'll work on this part, no problem. So this is my class, like I want to use it on Firefox driver, so you are aware about how to use this. Today in today's session I'm also going to discuss about how to use like Firefox driver without the help of system.set property. Like setting in system you need to done, and it will be like working on your local system. The script will be working without this line of code. The line number 10 is not required, and after that it is also like working fine in my system. And I have put other lines as comment, like if you are working on different browsers, say that if you are working on apart from Firefox you are working on Chrome driver, so for Chrome you can use this line of code, because when Chrome is launched it is not launched in full screen mode. So at that time for maximize you can use this line of code. And suppose that if your driver is like driver script is handling the multiple phases, or if the particular web element is taking some time to appear, so in that case you can put the implicit timeout. So this implicit timeout we will take care in other sessions. And this is the code, like to open the URL, and this is the code. Say that I want to use a particular line of code. So this is not required in our session. This is find element method. If you like mouse over on find element, you can see it is saying web element type, and after that it is coming org, openqa, selenium, and at last it is showing find element, and in the parenthesis it is showing like you have to pass the parameter of by class and whatever the locator you want to use. So basically return type of find element is web element. So if you want to store somewhere, if you want to store the value of this line, so what you can do, you can simply remove this. So dot click is not required, semicolon I am putting, and I want to call it via some name. So I am giving a calling name, say that element is equal to fine. And after that you have to define the type of element. So what you do, create local variable, so it will automatically take, like, it is a kind of web element. And after that, if I want to use find elements method, simply I need to copy this. So find elements basically works on the common pattern. Say that if you want to find all the links present on a particular page, if you want to find all the web elements on a particular page, if you want to like find all the buttons on a particular page, so in that case it is going to help you, because that is dynamic, that is not known in advance. So in that case, like, you can take the help of find elements method. Just I am pasting this and I am changing it as find elements. So what this line of code will do, this will find the a is like a tag is like you can say links. So whatever the links present on a particular web page, that will be found and it will be returned as list of web element. You can see over here when I'm like a mouse hovering here, it is showing list of web elements. You can also use in this way, like driver dot find elements. You have to find. So find elements, you can see over here there are a lot of find elements. So I'm taking any one, this one I am taking find elements method, and you have to pass the parameter, so on which locator you want to find. Say that I'm taking by dot xpath, and the pattern would be same for xpath, like double slash, and tag name is a. Fine. Again I am taking driver dot find elements by dot css selector. So in css selector, that the syntax is first should be tag name, and after that with the help of dot or hash symbol you can define the further if it is required. And there are other parameters which we can learn designing CSS selector in the further sessions, but as of now, if I want to find all the links via CSS selector, so I have to just pass a. So this is the tag name. What is a? A is the tag name. You can see it is the also the list of find elements. So this is, I say, list 1, I am giving name, I am giving here list 2, I am giving a name here list 3. So I have to like define the type of variable. When I will click over here, so it is asking me to create the type of variable. I'm clicking over here. So this is list. So I will also cover what is a list. So list is a like a kind of group. You can say a kind of group, and this angular bracket is called generic definition. You can say generic. It means list can contain heterogeneous, homogeneous as well as heterogeneous objects. Homogeneous, heterogeneous, it's a similar kind of objects if we are containing in a list, so it is called homogeneous. And if we want to keep some kind of, you can say, integer, some kind of a string value, so that is called heterogeneous. So in next coming session we will be covering that topic, but as of now you can consider it will be considering only the list of web element only. Like no other value will be allowed to store in it, because we are going to find on the basis of tag name. So tag name and like find elements we are going to use, so it is going to return the list of web elements. So a web element list, if it is list, so it will contain or it may contain duplicates value too, and null is also allowed in list. Fine. And this is called generic implementation. In the Angular bracket, it is we are defining like it is containing list of web element. So we are restricting or giving instructions to our compiler that this list will only contain web element. Fine. Again for this, I'm clicking over here. So it will also contain list of web element, and I am getting this list via find elements, and I am getting this list via by.xpath. And in xpath you must be aware that if you are going to provide double slash and via a, so it is going to capture the tags. So for if you are using single slash, so in that case that will be unique. But if you are going to use double slash, because in earlier sessions we discussed single slash, if you are using absolute xpath, so it is only going to return you a unique element. But if you are using double slash, so in that case you may find multiple elements if it is present on your web page. So I'm taking one example of Facebook. So in Facebook, like there are chances that we are going to find multiple links over there. Fine. Now same be the case of CSS selector. The format of CSS selector is first is like tag them, and after that via dot or hash symbol you can provide ID or name, ID or class name over there. I'm clicking here, click local variables. So now my design part is complete. I am demonstrating the use of find elements, and same line of code I am doing it with multiple ways. You can see over here. There may be chances that multiple links are present on the home page of Facebook. Now with the help of list, what other operations we can perform? I want to show that. So my reference variable has been created, and now if I want to use some other options over there, so you can see other methods are there like add all. So when we are going to cover like list implementation topic in Java, so that time we will discuss about these methods, like how we are going to use this method. So we will be more focusing in this session like the basic methods which we are going to use via list. You can see, have a look like what are the other methods which are like present over there. So clear is like for clearing the list, the entire list would be cleared, and the contains method for finding particular web object. So there are other methods like to, you can say get method is widely used, very important method. Is empty to check. Iterator, if you want to use like traversing from start to end, you can use iterator too. Have a look, just have a look. Like set method is also there if you want to change. Like size is one of the most important method, because to find the dynamic size we are using size method. The sort method is also there if you are containing a list, so via sort method you can sort it. List is basically group, you can say group, more than one. Fine. So that is considered as list. So you can also convert it into array. So I just wanted to show that these are the basic methods which are available with list. Fine. And I would also like to tell you what is a list. List is an interface. List is an interface in Java. Fine. List is an interface in Java. So this list is like a part of Java, and if you like mouse over, the I symbol is coming over here, you can say, and it is present in the java.util package. It is the name of package, and list is like interface. Fine. to make you understand, I'm explaining these terms in details. If you are going to particular website, or like you are going to do some R&D on the topic, you might be not getting all these informations over there. But I'm trying to explain you like what is this is the name of package. Java.util is the name of package, and list is an interface. You can see I symbol over here, so you come to know, oh, this is interface. Say that I want to, now what I want to do, say that I want to get the total number of counts of a particular web element. So via size list dot size, I have the method, and via this I am going to like get the total number of counts. Fine. So say that I want to print, so I will use cshow, and after that control space bar, and like hit enter button, and in that, suppose that I want to capture this one, I'm taking this reference variable, and via dot operator size is there, you can see over here. So now for this also I want to do the same thing. Just taking same, copy and pasting here, and now changing the name. See, I'm going to change it, update it. And now what I'll do, I will run this code. I'm just putting one more line like driver.close. You must be aware about this method, that what is this going to do. This will close my browser after doing such operations. Fine. Right click, run as Java application. Just wait. See, you can see over here, I am getting the count 53 with the line number 36. I am getting the count 53 with the line number 38, and again I am getting the count 53 with the line number 40. And what is the use of line number 25? I would also like to explain that. Fine. Say that I am forcefully or deliberately changing the tag name to A1. So what will happen? Again I am changing, this is the list. In the find elements I am changing the name as A1. Fine. So basically I want to explain the difference. The difference is that if the find element method is not going to find your particular web element, it is going to throw some kind of exception, that is no such element exception. If it is going to find the multiple elements, so in that case it is going to return you the first element. Say that there are 15 links, fine, and via tag name it is going to find the 50 links. But what it will do, it will return the reference of only the first element. So find element only does the thing, and if it is not going to found, so in that case it is going to return no such element exception. But find elements, like if it is going to found single, so it is going to return single, and if it is going to find multiple, so it is going to return the list of multiple. If it is not going to find any element, so it will return the empty list. it won't throw any exception. This is the very important interview question. Like if they want to check your concepts or find element and find elements, they are going to ask you this question. And if you are having some kind of knowledge and if you are having some kind of preparation on this topic, so you can answer this question easily. Otherwise, like people are bit stuck on this topic. Fine. So just wanted to explain, so that's why I'm changing. And line by line, changing, updating, I will be explaining these things. Again, I'm going to run this. See what will happen. So due to line number 25, my script will throw some kind of exception and it will fail. See, my browser is not closing. It means there is some problem in the script. Now you will come to the script. You can see over here, console. This is the name of package and this is the name of exception. Unable to find element A1. You can see over here. Fine. So although like this element was not there, so that's why it is going to throw the exception, and might be like multiple are there, so it is going to return the reference of only the first element which is found. Now this line I have corrected. Fine. So what I am going to do now, I will check the performance or results of line number 27. Again I am going to re-execute. So what is happening this time, you can see. What is happening this time, you can see it is going to return the list of like empty list. You can say empty list. So empty list like having no elements. So it is going to return 000. And to explain more these things, I would also like to copy and paste the same. And what I will do this time, I will not use size method. I will only use the reference. Same thing, just to elaborate more. Fine. In detail. List 1, list 2, list 3. Fine. Just wait, watch. You can see if I am not using size, so size is like just counting, giving the counts, and basically it is having the integer type. You can see size is like having the integer type return, so you can also store it somewhere in the integer variable and you can traverse. And you can see over here if I am using list, so it is going to show the entire elements. Fine. And what if I am using the genuine, like correct? Just want to explain all these things. Now what will happen for the results of 42 and 44 and 46? You should also know about that thing also. Just wait, watch. See, this time the list is not empty because like I am giving the correct values. Fine. So what it will do, you just see the result. You can see the first, then comma the second, then comma the third. So like huge list. If you scroll, you can find huge list is coming. All 53 are coming over here. Earlier there were 53, na? So 53, 53, 53. All lists are being printed. Fine. Now again more operations on find elements I am going to perform. So I have found one element via element like find element, and I have found the multiple list via find element. So what I'll do, I will mark it as comment, like multiples are not required for every time. I will pick only one list, that is enough. So I have got the size. Now what I want to do, I want to print all the links. Say that I want to print all the links, or I want to print all the particular attribute values. So in that case, that is very much like helpful if you are knowing the concept of for loop. So for using that thing, I would like to explain some basic concept of for loop, and you can say for each loop, that would be very fine. So there is one loop in Java that is called advanced for loop, and there is one loop in Java that is like basic for loop. So basic for loop, you can use some kind of variables, and via variables you can traverse the particular list or group. Fine. But in this session, I will be using advanced for loop and explaining the concept of advanced for loop. So syntax is like for, you can see over here, and my list is, I have kept the list over here. So first I will use the list. Then I have to give the column, and if I want to traverse the list, I should put some variable like user defined, any variable you can say. Say I am taking L1, fine, and I have to define the type of this list. So I will click on this, so it will automatically take. Fine. So this is the group of list. This is the variable via which we want to traverse the list. Traversing means one by one each element I want to traverse, because it is a for loop. Fine. And this is the type. This is the type which we have to define. Again I repeat, because this like bit complex for very beginners. So what I did, why I got the list. Fine. So reference of list is list one. I use this one to the last, and I have taken one user defined. You can say user defined, any value you want you can take, no problem. Say that if you want L or P, you can take P, that's fine. But since this list is a type of web element, so I have to define the type as well. Again I am removing this. How I got, just I am mouse hovering here and creating loop variable, so it will automatically take the type of variable. Why I did so? Because I wanted to traverse each and every element of the list, and I want to print something from that list. Fine. So this is the basic structure of the for loop. Like in parenthesis, you need to pass the argument, and argument is like that. Argument I have already explained. Now it starts from the curly bracket, in the curly bracket. Fine. I'm using cshow. I want to print something, that's why I'm using cshow. So via this dot, with the help of dot operator, you can perform multiple actions. I'm taking this reference because traversing the list, I have to create one reference. So this is my reference variable P. I'm using P. Since it is the type of web element, so via dot operator, all the methods of web element would be available. You can see over here. Say that get text. Get text, it will print the name of all the links. It will print the name of all the links. Again I want to perform multiple operations. Fine. Now this time I want to print the URLs. You can say URLs. To how to get the URLs? So via get attribute method. I have already used that in the past. for a particular web element with the help of get attribute, and in that parenthesis you need to pass href. If you are not aware about href, I would like to explain. So this is my particular Facebook page, and suppose that this is one link. Fine, I can take any link. This is one link because mouse is changing. So right click, inspect element. I am taking this element. Fine. So just wait. You can see this, the tag name is a. It means it is a link, and href property contains the URL. So if you want to print the URL, you need to pass the href in the get attribute. So I am providing href over here, and since it is the loop, it will pick one by one every element and it will print the link on the console. I'm also putting comment because it is not required. Fine. Now arranging, this is called arranging, no problem. You can arrange in this way, like you can also give a space if it is not required, or you can ignore it, no problem. So just to explain, this is the concept of advanced for loop. You can say advanced for loop is used for traversing the entire list. Fine. Now I'm going to run. So basically what it will do, it will print the link text. Say that I'm taking one example, forgotten account. So forgotten account, here you can find, here it is written. So this will print it on the screen via get text. And if I want to get the URL, so I have to use get attribute and href property I have provided, and it will provide me the URL which is present inside that particular web element. So URL is this, it is going to print. But since there are 53, so it will print the 53, entire 53 list. I can put this one, no problem. Because first time 53 would be printed, then one entire list would be printed, and after that via loop, one by one, each and every list would be printed. Just going to run. You can see over here. Now see the result from starting. Total is 53. I'll also explain this one now so that you can come to know how the results are coming. So due to line number 36, it is printing 53. Due to line number 42, it is printing the entire list, and after that I have started for loop. Fine. So for loop, first it will print the name which is coming on your particular web page and the URL behind that. So for Facebook it is facebook.com. For got an account, the href property, you are getting this. So entire list and their property are being printed. Some are lists, your link are present, but their name are not present, so that is not coming, and others are coming. Fine. So in this way, like you can perform multiple operations. And again, I have not used this. I will also explain this. This is the single list. So you would also like to print single element. So I'm using cshow since it is a particular web element. So via element dot, you can see element over here. I'm taking this that I find it with find elements. Fine. So element dot, all the methods of web element would be present. So if you want to print the get text, you can print, because it is coming via find element, so it is only going to return you the reference of first element. I repeat, it is going to return only the reference of first element. Fine. I want to print the name. Again, I want to print the, you can say, URL. What I'll do, I will just change. It's like name is element, element, element. Okay. Fine, guys. So you can see this element I get by find element, and this I am getting by find element. So this was my understanding. I wanted to explain you, and now this is the final run of this session. Just minimizing it so that you can see what is happening in the background, and at last you will see after printing all the loops it is due to line number 59 and 60. One more result is coming. You can say Facebook and facebook.com. So this I am getting via line number, the last line of code. Two more lines are coming, you can see. Due to this, that I got it via find element. So this was my understanding. Again, I would like to repeat, like Chitra is also having some knowledge, and like she is posting her blogs, so that was containing these things too, and you will find the difference like in the textual. If you want to maintain some document, that is already there, but basic understanding via find element and find elements, like if no element, then find element is going to return no such element exception, and find elements is going to return you empty. If single element, in the both cases, then find element is going to return the first element, and like find elements is also going to return you the single element. In the case of multiple, like if there are multiple web elements for the same location, so in that case find element is going to return you only the single element, only the first one, and find elements is going to return you the entire list. Fine. So in this way you can explain the concept of find element and find elements. And today we have learned like use of for loop. You can say advanced for loop. I have explained. I try to explain. Somehow it is like first time it is bit complex. Like why you are using advanced for loop. So advanced for loop like basically used when you want to traverse the entire list from starting to end. So at that time you can take the help of advanced for loop. There are other loops in Java as well. We will cover that topic in the coming sessions. Fine. So basically the concept of advanced for loop. The reference, the entire list is kept in the right side. This is the user defined variable. You can take any variable, and this is the type of variable we need to define. Say that it will be known to the compiler like which kind of element it is going to keep. Fine. And that was all about today's session. Thank you guys, and in the coming session we will cover more topic. I will update in the Skype group as well. So thank you for today. Thanks. Going to disclose or close the meeting, you can say.